I'm going to let you sort of carry this topic because you know me. I am not the biggest AEW fan in the world. I did not watch Forbidden Door, but I know you are a huge wrestling fan. So why don't you go ahead and review AEW Forbidden Door for us?
So the Forbidden Door opened upon UBS Arena on Sunday, and oh boy, what a show we had. There were a whole bunch of matches on both the pre-show and the main card, but the main card, the matches I want to talk mostly about are the ladder match for the TNT Championship between Konosuke Takeshita, Jack Perry, Lio Rush, El Phantasmo, Dante Martin, and Mark Briscoe. El Phantasmo, despite not winning the match, had a huge showing out. And if I'm Tony Khan, I'm going to give that man a contract. He absolutely showed out. He took a Blue Thunder Bomb from Konosuke Takeshita off the apron through 2 tables, which is insane. Jack Perry ends up winning, and it was a good match. Next match I do want to touch on was Tetsuya Naito versus Jon Moxley for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley walking in champion, Tetsuya Naito walking out champion. It was just as every bit of a good match as you'd think for a Jon Moxley match, for a Tetsuya Naito match, for a match worthy of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I do believe it surpassed their match at Windy City Riot, and I do believe that with this, Tetsuya Naito will not be entering the G1 Climax anymore due to already being champion. But we'll see what they do with that. And the final match I want to touch on was our main event. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. At first, when I first saw this match was announced, I was like, they're doing this match too early. They should wait. But after what Will Ospreay had said recently about why this match was happening, he wanted to ease the rumors that Swerve was just a placeholder champion until All In. However, that being said, Ospreay took the loss. He lost clean, even though there was a bit of Don Callis interference, but it's wrestling. It's heel wrestling. There's going to be manager interference. However, I do believe that this legitimizes Swerve's title reign. And I do believe that Swerve is going to be champion for a while now. I do believe the rumors that Hangman is going to be the wild card in the Owen Hart Cup. But I don't think he's beating Swerve. Swerve has had his number at every turn. Swerve is going to continue to have his number. And I do believe that it will be Will Ospreay dethroning him next year.
Okay. Well, with that, where do you want to start when it comes to Money in the Bank?
Let's start with the ladder matches.
Okay.
Start with the gimmicks.
All right. Let's do the women's ladder match first. So, what I think is sort of relative to sort of both Money in the Bank ladder matches this year, and I do sort of like it, is we don't have a ton of former world champions. We don't have a lot of champions in these matches, period. It's a lot of young, guys and women. It's a lot of upstarts. And I think in the woman even more. You have Io Sky, who obviously her first ladder match last year, she won it. You have Naomi, who's been in one. And then I believe that's it in terms of
Money in the Bank ladder matches. But Tiffany
match.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton has been part of the ladder match. She was part of the ladder match at Stand and Deliver last year for the NXT Women's Championship. You have Lyra Valkyria, I think this is her first ladder match in WWE. Who else is in it on the women's side? Let me take a look.
And then you have Chelsea Green, who I don't remember her ever being in any sort of ladder match.
No, I don't believe so.
And then Zoe Stark, who was in the Money in the Bank ladder match last year.
Yeah, she was part of the Money in the Bank ladder match last year with Trish Stratus.
So The way I see it, I think it's down to two people for me from winning, and I think they're both on the blue brand side. I think it's going to be either Tiffy time or I think it's Chelsea Green's time.
Those have speaking on all this, I'm in like a bunch of wrestling Discord servers. Those two seem to be the clear favorites because like King of the Ring and like King and Queen of the Ring, the Money in the Bank as a gimmick is a heel prop.
Yes,
And I do believe I'm giving the edge to Tiffany Stratton because of one thing. They brought back custom briefcases last year with Damian Priest. They're going to do it with Tiffany Stratton. They're going to give her a bright pink Barbie briefcase, and it's going to sell like hotcakes.
that's a good call there. I didn't even think about that. I will throw one thing out there. I think Tiffany, I agree with you. I think she will win the woman's Money in the Bank ladder match. I think it is possible that Nia Jax will defeat Bayley at SummerSlam in our hometown of Cleveland for the women's championship. Tiffany Stratton knocks out Nia Jax from behind with a briefcase, cashes in, and walks out the women's world champion.
Ooh, so you're part of the route because that happened last year with Io Sky. She
Yes.
cashed in at SummerSlam. I
Yes.
do believe there will be a cash in at SummerSlam, just not on the women's side.
Ooh,
I do
that's
believe
interesting.
if they give Tiffany a custom briefcase, she's gonna hold that thing for a while because they want to market it more and more.
That's fair. And by the way, before Io Sky had the women's title for a month, we all know this. Besides Carmella, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match holder either cashed it in the night of Money in the Bank or the Raw after.
That is true. Although Carmella, the first one, she
Well,
held it
that's
for
what I
about
said.
like a couple hundred
Outside
days.
of Carmella that held it, I mean,
Yeah.
you had Carmella, and then Alexa Bliss did it same night. Bailey did it same night. Asuka did it the night after.
Liv Morgan did it the same night as
The
well.
night of Nikki ASH, if anybody remembers that gimmick, did it the night after.
Yeah.
So,
although Asuka didn't actually have to cash in for a match for the Raw Women's title because Becky Lynch went out due to pregnancy. So they gave Asuka the Raw Women's title straight up in the
correct.
briefcase.
And by the way, if you read Becky Lynch's memoir, she revealed in that was actually her idea.
Yep. There is actually a figure that I own of Becky Lynch with both the Raw Women from 2020 with both the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase and the Raw Women's title.
That's awesome. I will say, and again, I don't think she's gonna win it, but I think it'd be really fun to have Chelsea Green hold that briefcase.
I would love that, but I think since they're trending towards marketable briefcases again, like they used to, like with the RVD briefcase, the Straight Edge Society briefcase, the Boombox briefcase with Brock, I do believe that it's going to be Tiffany Stratton. However, I am open to Chelsea Green winning it. I think it's going to be one of those two heels.
So the men's side is gonna have a ton of interference.
Oh yeah, everyone as
Did my Wi-Fi just go out again? Are you kidding me? Well, I'm still here as far as my knowledge. Chris, did your Wi-Fi go out? Yeah, I think so. Chris's Wi-Fi went out, I believe. So we are going to continue here talking about the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Yeah, Chris's Wi-Fi went out. I'm going to send him. Um, Now we're having Chris Wi-Fi issues. That's StreamYard in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. So that being said, let's move on to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And as I said, there is going to be interference galore here. You're going to have Logan Paul cost LA Knight the briefcase. You're going to have CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the briefcase. You're going to have the Wyatt Family 6 cost Chad Gable the briefcase. So that leaves Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and main event Jey Uso for the opportunity opinion, and win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And when you look at these three scenarios, you have Jey Uso, who I think eventually is going to be involved with the bloodline. When Roman Reigns returns, I think Roman is going to get Jey and Jimmy Uso back together. I think that, you're going to see Roman, Jimmy, and Jey versus Solo, Tommy Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu, and maybe some sort of War Games match. So I don't know if WWE is going to want Jey Uso to be world champion or be Money in the Bank ladder match for the time that comes. Though I don't see Andrade winning it, and I don't see Carmelo Hayes winning it. I think Hayes in the bank, Melo in the bank could be something if WWE wanted to take a drastic measure and really vault Carmelo Hayes to the moon. But again, you know, there's a scenario out there I've read where Drew McIntyre does win Money in the Bank and he goes to cash in on the same night on Rollins or Priest, whoever wins that world championship match, and CM Punk us in the championship at that moment. I think that would be a waste of the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. But I know when Chris comes back, he's going to explain why he thinks there is going to be a cash in at SummerSlam. We'll talk about this. But I do believe that whoever does win the World Championship match between Rollins and Priest is going to lose to Gunther. I think WWE wants Gunther to walk in as world champion at Bash in Berlin. And, outside of Money in the Bank cash in, I don't see how anybody could dethrone Gunther for a while. So that could be the direction we go. I don't see Cody Rhodes losing the Undisputed Championship to anybody not named Roman Reigns or The Rock. So by that measure, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match is a little handicapped, where the women's is a little more open. Again, we think Tiffany Stratton will win the briefcase, but she could theoretically cash in on the women's world champion or the women's champion. The Money in the Bank briefcase, I think the one nice change that they have made recently is it does not have to be brand specific. Obviously, you've got Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. I'm okay with either result happening here. I'll be very interested to see how they book the unpredictable badass in this match, because Braun Breaker has essentially been booked like the next coming of Brock Lesnar. So again, we'll see. I could very well see him taking Sami Zayn to the Intercontinental Championship. The Triple H and his regime has had a history of these long championship runs. So I have a question there. Obviously, I think the Bloodline six-man tag is very interesting now that Paul Heyman is out of the group. I think Solo and crew are going to find a way to win. Whether Jimmy Uso makes his return or not is a big question mark for me, but I do think it leads to Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa for the Undisputed Championship at SummerSlam. I think the main event of the show will be Rollins and Damian Priest, and I'm excited to see when Chris gets back on here what his thoughts are on the main event of this show, because WWE could really go two ways with it. And here we are. We're going to bring back in Chris. So everybody has had Wi-Fi issues at one point tonight.
At one point, yeah.
First Josh, then me, now you. So let's dive into the men's Money in the Bank.
This is going to be Interference City, because as I've been told, everyone has someone. Jey Uso's got the Bloodline. Chad Gable's got the Wyatt Six.
Drew's got
Punk. Which I those two, that match at SummerSlam is going to be great.
And then obviously LA Knight has
Logan Paul.
So you got Carmelo Hayes and Andrade.
Andrade possibly would have something with
the LWO maybe, or
no, I was thinking
Legato.
The Legato. I was thinking maybe even Judgment Day, because I know him and Dominic Mysterio had something, or him and Carlito actually had something. So it's going to be Interference City, and it's going to end up with Carmelo Hayes taking advantage of that.
Wow, so you think Carmelo Hayes is winning the briefcase?
I think because of all the interference that, Carmelo Hayes is the only one that isn't going to get screwed out of Money in the Bank.
So I agree that Carmelo, on paper has a chance to win, but I disagree because I don't think that Jay is going to get bloodline interference. I think Jay Uso is going to be the men's Money in the Bank ladder match winner.
I do think Jay is a favorite, and I like Jay. But if they're gonna push this Bloodline Civil War thing before before the end of the year, and like I think it has to start at Money in the Bank with Solo and the God and Jacob Fatu taking out Jey Uso. Maybe that prompts Jimmy to come back.
Well, that's what I said. Is I wonder because when you look down the pipeline here, we obviously know Cody Roman, the KO, the 6-man tag is going to lead to Solo and Cody at SummerSlam. We assume Roman Reigns is going to be back at some point. We assume the Bloodline Civil War is going to happen at some point. But I wonder if an interesting twist on it is going to be Jey Uso with the World Heavyweight Championship.
I could definitely see that. I'd like that. But I do believe whoever cashes in on the men's side of thing is gonna cash in at SummerSlam. Maybe it's Jay on Gunther, although either way, Gunther or Cody, that's gonna be a failed cash in. Because you don't want Gunther to lose the belt immediately, and you don't want Cody to lose the belt yet. But I feel like a failed cash in would be too much of a cop out. So maybe not SummerSlam for the men's.
See, we'll get to the main event in a minute of this show, but regardless, I think Gunther is walking out of SummerSlam World Champion because I think WWE wants Gunther to be World Champion when they end up Bash and Berlin.
Absolutely. That's why I'm thinking, that's why I'm thinking he's going to win it because and that's why I thought Drew wasn't going to win at Clash at the Castle because I was like, I mean, but that's still a short title reign for Drew because Gunther's going to win it at SummerSlam regardless.
And we all know that Triple H usually doesn't like the short title reigns.
No, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't.
Which is what makes the main event so interesting to me, and we'll get to that. First, let's talk about the 6-man tag real quick between Orton, KO, Cody against the Bloodline. Very interesting development now that obviously Paul Heyman is not there with the Bloodline. I said I don't know if they're going to turn this into a street fight like they did at Backlash. I don't know if it's going to be a DQ all-out brawl finish or if Solo and Bloodline are going to go over with some dirty tactic of some sort. My guess is if we're gonna do a pinfall, I don't think you want Cody taking the fall. I think Kevin Owens would probably take the fall to Solo. But I think it's just gonna be a fun brawl, basically what we saw on SmackDown this past Friday.
I definitely agree there. That I think, if anything, if you have to do it in a way that like it's a dusty finish, there's another man from the. And this is a shocker to everyone. There's another man from the Bloodline on his way to WWE in actually the brother of Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, Hikuleo.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yes, he is another he's like his brothers in the God. He is a former Bullet Club member turned into the faction that was the God. He was teaming with El Phantasmo, who I believe is on his way to AEW because he has a connection to Jay White, and Bullet Club Gold needs more members, and I think El Phantasmo would be perfect for that group.
So you get those 3 plus Solo, and then obviously Jacob Fatu. There's your 5 members of Solo's new Bloodline.
Right, and then you've got Roman, Jay, Jimmy. I think Zilla Fatu is also on his way to WWE Umaga's son. And then for their 5th man, the honorary Uce himself, Sami Zayn, who I'm going to feel bad for him on Saturday. That he's going to get killed by Braun Breaker.
So you think that? I think it's interesting. I don't know if that's the direction they go. Because my thing is, if you put the title on Breaker, he's going to have a long title reign.
He's going to have a Gunther title. He is going to have that Gunther-like title reign.
But is now the time when you just got the belt off Gunther having such a long title reign? You want to have another long title reign pretty close after that. That's why I think there could be a situation where Sammy like steals one or something happens where Breaker looks so strong
Or maybe
and
some of the
Sammy
guys
still
that,
wins.
Braun Breaker taken out kind of come to the aid of Sami Zayn and
Yeah,
interfere on behalf. I
like
could definitely see that. I've
I don't think, and I could see your scenario. I think it's gonna be one or the other. I think either Breaker kills Sammy or Sammy walks out champion.
it really is. And Sami Zayn, he's no stranger to the underdog story. He just had it with Gunther. He's gonna have it again with Braun Breaker.
And to me, that was the most shocking result of Mania because that was the one I did not expect.
I don't think anyone expected it. Everyone was like, Sami Zayn, he's just a warm up to Chad Gable. But no, it was a lot of people were like shocked, and I think the collective of the wrestling or the WWE universe was the same as when the streak was broken at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, in the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay, so main event time then. Priest and Rollins with a very interesting stipulation to me because it sets the stage for a lot of different scenarios depending on which way you want to go. Now, if Priest retains the title, that Rollins can't challenge for the world title until Priest is no longer champion. That's going to be null and void in a month, as we talked about, because Gunther is going to be champion. However, if there's this scenario where Finn Balor and Judgment Day do turn on Damian Priest because they have been planting those seeds, and Rollins does walk out world champion, Gunther's just going to squash him in a month anyway. So that's why I'm like, which direction do we go here? Is it better to let Priest's title reign continue a little bit longer and let the Judgment Day storyline kind of fizzle a little bit more? I'm sort of leaning that route, but I have a feeling that, if Sammy retains the Intercontinental title, I think that probably means that Rollins walking out world champion. I think if Braun wins, that probably means Priest retains because I think they're going to have one new champion on this show.
They are going to have one belt change hands. They
That,
can't have
yeah,
everyone retain.
yeah, that's sort of how I feel, and I also feel that Rollins and Priest is going to main event the show. It could be the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, but I don't think it would be.
I definitely agree. It's either going to be I think that the World Championship match, because of the stipulation, it's like Judgment Day implosion, or Seth has to wait a bit longer. I think those stakes are bigger than the briefcase.
The only other thing I thought about with this show is if they do a complete swerve on us, and the plan is for Roman to not return at SummerSlam, but to Roman return at Money in the Bank.
So you think the Bloodline versus Cody, KO, and Orton could main event?
It could if the plan is Randy turns on Cody, Roman returns to go after Solo.
Ooh, yes. And that's how we get, because another match, I honestly, I don't hate Solo. I like Solo. Solo's great. I think that the bigger match to make for Cody is Randy at SummerSlam than Solo.
See, I have also, when Roman first lost the title, and this is just selfish of me because I'm going to be, I don't know, are you going to be at SummerSlam?
I will be at SummerSlam. I will also be on the Going Home SmackDown the night before.
I will as well. So selfishly, when Cody first won the title, my two initial thoughts for SummerSlam were either if you could get The Rock, you do Cody and Rock, but I think they're going to save it for Mania. My other thought was if you want to make the biggest SummerSlam match of all time, you could do Cody and Roman 3.
Or you could do Cody and Orton because of their history.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
And Randy Orton, a lot of people saying, oh, Randy Orton's not a big enough star to main event. So, yes, he is. Randy Orton is one of WWE's biggest homegrown stars.
He 100% is, but here's the thing. At this stage of his career, and Orton's a great heel, but is he going to get booed at this stage of his career?
No, I sooner would see Cody getting booed than Randy.
Which, to me, is a problem.
Exactly, because you're supposed to push Cody as this big baby face. It's the same thing when they tried it with Edge in the Judgment Day. You
Yes.
absolutely could not turn Edge heel.
Yeah, which why I think that they are in a pickle, and I'm curious as to see what direction they go. But let's
Right.
get back quickly to the main event of the show. We both think it's a Rollins and Priest. What direction do you think they ultimately go with, and what direction would you go with?
I would definitely go like if they have the match between Cody and Solo already planned, just go that route. It might be much easier. Have Roman return at SummerSlam. It'd be a bigger return than Money in the Bank because you're talking an arena show, an arena PLE versus a large stadium PLE, one of your big four. I do believe it would be bigger to return for him to return. And maybe, and just maybe, a double return. Not only have Roman return, but The Rock as well.
Oh,
I'm just saying. This is my first This is my first ever live pay-per-view. Triple H, pull out all the stops. I just want to see. I want to scream my head off. I want to pop loud for things.
absolutely. Well, okay, so let me ask you this: World Championship match. What do we think the result's going to be?
So the World Championship match, I do believe Damian Priest is going to retain.
Okay.
Only because why give Seth a reign for just a month?
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Do we get a Liv Morgan appearance? Do we get a appearance? Do we get all those shenanigans?
I do believe it will be. I do believe the Judgment Day is going to get involved. It's not like the Drew match where the Judgment Day was banned from ringside.
Does Mommy return?
Honestly, I would. I would have Rhea Ripley should return because I do believe they're going to run Liv and Rhea at SummerSlam.
If Rhea's healthy, I think that's the match you go. If she's not, I don't know what direction they go.
Do you have
And Chris's Wi-Fi just went off again. Or he may have just clicked over the stream. I don't know. Huh. There we go. He's back.
Yo, God, I just had some technical difficulties. That was a bit odd. I do believe that yes, if Rhea's healthy, you make that match. If not, Raw doesn't have that deep of a women's roster anymore. I mean,
I'm wondering one of two things. I don't think it's going to happen, but you could always bring Becky Lynch back, and you could do Becky and Liv. Though I think Becky is obviously on a break, and I don't even think she's tied to a contract right now.
No,
the other thing I think you could theoretically do is have, like, if you're not going to do Liv and Rhea, Liv be a special guest referee in a match between like Dame or Finn and JD versus Damian and Dom. I don't know, something like that, or Dom and Carlito because Damian will be busy with Priest. I don't know.
I definitely agree there. It's like if honestly, and I know it's too early to give her a bit of a world championship rub, but if you have to have a Liv Morgan match for the women's world title at SummerSlam and it's not Rhea or it's not Becky, Lyra Valkyria is your best option right now.
Yeah, the other thing too, no one's talking about it, and I don't think she's healthy or not, but if there's a miracle, maybe there's a Charlotte Flair return. I don't know.
Yes, I would love to see Charlotte back. I say that, but like she gets too many title shots.
Charlotte and Liv is a combo we have not seen, I don't think.
No. Wait.
Maybe in the Riot Squad era, but that was a long time ago.
Didn't Liv cashed in on Charlotte?
No, she cashed in on Ronda.
Oh, that's right, because Ronda did win that match.
Yep.
Oh, so that's a bit of. I was about to say that could be a bit of parody, but it's not. I don't know where to go with this. If you have to have a Liv Morgan match at SummerSlam, Rhea's not healthy, Becky's not healthy, just give the match to Lyra Valkyria. I think she's big enough for that push right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we both agree this card's going to lead directly into SummerSlam. I think we're both so excited for SummerSlam.
I am very excited.
And you mentioned a little bit ago, I give WWE a lot of credit for two feuds in LA Knight, Logan Paul, Punk, and McIntyre.
Yeah.
These two, obviously, Paul and Knight had the little triple threat match on SmackDown. But outside of that, those two feuds have been going for months with little to no ring action.
Exactly. The only action that like Punk and Drew had was like all the times that Punk was like screwing Drew over. He screwed him over at Mania. He screwed him over at on the Raw after Mania in that #1 contendership match that got Jey Uso against Damian Priest. Then he screws him over at Clash at the Castle in his hometown.
And it legitimately feels like if you put that as the main event of SummerSlam, no one would complain.
Oh, absolutely no one would complain. Me and Josh agree on one thing. If it's one thing me and Josh agree on, it needs to have some sort of stipulation, whether it be steel cage, Hell in a Cell, street fight. It's got to have some sort of stipulation. You can't do a straight up singles match between Punk and McIntyre at this stage in the feud.